Hello, and welcome to Rory's Brainworks, where we get creative and see if it works. Today, we'll be deep diving into the self-tied half-hitch corset. It's actually a part of a one-piece rope tie known as the Bahamut rig. I'm taking some of the outline of that and then molding it, because the big part of the Bahamut rig is the half-hitch corset that they're using inside of it. So I will be showing you that, and I'm doing my best to do it within 2 ropes, because usually it's something you want to do with 3 ropes. So, because I'm thinking about your wallets. I know you want a lot of rope, but your bank account doesn't. So I'm doing my best to give you some self-ties, some pretty tings that you don't have to break the bank on. With that said, we will bring up safe, sane, and consensual safety. Be sure to have some safety shears or scissors with you at all times. You can always get new rope, but you can't get a new life. Yes, I'm using a new camera tripod. Thank you for noticing, Marie. Can we get back to the matter at hand? And consensual. Marie and I are both consenting adults. Communication is key. Now, before we get into this tutorial, we must first thank my sponsor, Knothead Nylon.
Knothead Nylon is the destination for all your premium nylon rope bondage needs. Easy to clean, water resistant, up to 1,100 pounds of weight load, and in a wide array of beautiful, vibrant colors, Knothead Nylon will slake your rope desires. At checkout, put in discount code RORY10 for 10% off.
Now for this rig, I will be using this deep blue and a silver graphite. I'm going to be pretending that this is platinum, because blue and platinum are the colors to Bahamut in Dungeons & Dragons. So I just figured I would just meld the two together, as I often do. And, you know, I have to represent my nerdy side as well as my kinky side, for it is my brand. It is what I do. It is the totality of my existence, and without it, life would be an endless trudge, and so on and so forth. Let's get to it. So, I will be taking the bite of my rope, and I will be doing a girth hitch. How surprising. However, it's going to be a relatively unorthodox girth hitch for a few reasons. For reason the first, it's going to be rather long. So we're going to take the bite and go down, creating a long shape like that down the front of it, between the legs, and then we'll reach up through the back. Now, one of the things to note as well with that is we'll be creating a shape not unlike a one-piece swimsuit, which will be the base of our rig. So we're going to go through the legs, and then we're going to meet up with the girth hitch in the back. So coming from underneath the legs, we'll go underneath the bite and through it. Now, normally what you would want to do is create opposing forces with the girth hitch. That's how they work for the most part, and go back down on the legs and around and come out this way. But that is not what we're going to do, which is what makes this girth hitch a little bit different than the others. Instead, we're going to kind of create a Y, go over the shoulder, and create the other part of the outline of the base of this one-piece swimsuit design. There is a small amount of tension, but when we go through the legs and come back up this way, we will take care of that tension. So what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath this right here. We're going to pull down, and that's what's going to create our tension. Marie, how's it feeling? Awesome. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the spine, X around this one right here, and that is where we're going to leave that rope for right now. We will be doing this. This is technically your homework rope to see what you end up doing. I'll show you when we're done doing the half-hitch corset what I ended up doing with it, but the original way that the Bahamut rig was done requires me to have a second blue rope in order to do the official front design, which has a lot of really nice knot work. Instead, we're going to take the great base that they created for it, and then we're going to use instead our imaginations to kind of create our own ideals with it. The most important part of this Bahamut rig for us will be the half-hitch corset. That is what we're going to start on now, and I'm going to need my silver rope for that, or the platinum rope. It's platinum, because the platinum dragon is a holy dragon of good and justice and righteousness. All praise be unto Bahamut. I've never once rolled a lawful good paladin that worships Bahamut, and I will die before I do. Know this. So, with that said, we're going to girth hitch around this spine, be on our way to creating this half-hitch corset. You want to measure it out to where it's just underneath the breastbone. Good. All right, let's turn Marie around and see what we're working with. Watch yourself. Shake that ass. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. Fucking. One of the things you will note is that the V portion of it does go around the breast area, and what we're going to do is pull it in a little bit. It's Marie's dress. I'll show you a full view of what we got going on. Perfect. So we are going to come around because we need that tension, and then we're going to be starting the corset about this plane right here, and these two lines will be brought in a little bit closer to each other instead of being far on the outside. That way it helps to see the design that we're going for. So you want your first plane to be about right here, or wherever's most comfortable for your rope model. You can have it higher up on the sternum, just below the breast, but just note that if you do anything too tight, if you do anything on that plane, if it's pushing too tight against the xiphoid process at the base of the sternum, it can get uncomfortable. It is perfectly fine to have ropes in this area, just keep good contact. Good communication with your rope model. So we will take our ropes around, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over, beneath, we're going to go above ourselves, and then underneath over here. 3/4 knot, also a half hitch. Make that bad boy look pretty. There we go. And when you're doing on this side, it's a little bit more awkward, but actually it's easier. This is why you definitely know it's a half hitch. When you create the loop for a half hitch, both going underneath, and then you pull through. And what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna pull this way, get some, reduce the slack, get some tension in there. There we go, fantastic. Reduce that slack just a smidgen more. Just a smidge, just a skosh. Did you know that skosh comes from the Japanese for skoshi, which is just a little bit. Fun fact, enjoy. How it got added to our lexicon, I don't know. So what we're gonna do, essentially, is we're gonna take this rope, and we're gonna wrap around, but we're not gonna go over the spine. We're gonna go underneath those blue spines. So we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna do that again. We're gonna pull around, go over and under, over and under. We're gonna pull on the tension here to get the shape we want, and then tighten it up. So I'm going to be trying to bring down the V. I'm going to go across and do the exact same thing on the other side that we had done previously. Switch you to that view. So we're going to loop under like that. I'm going to put the rope through it. Going to pull right here, shape the rope, hold it, and then try and maneuver ourselves to reduce the slack. So I'm going to rinse and repeat that about 2 more times, then I'll show you and I'll explain a few things as to why we are doing what we're doing and the kind of shape you should be looking for. So hopefully this will help you see the overall design of what's happening with the half hitch corset. So you have low fibers, so you have the low fiber that'll come around here and create a high fiber, basically creating an offset. So all these fibers right here are going to be a little bit lower than these ones right here, because these ones are obviously a little bit higher. It creates a really nice, beautiful aesthetic design that I think is super fun. And by now you should obviously be able to tell why we needed to do this base as well. Does it have to be done exactly this way? No, but as long as you have a structure, 2 structures on either side that you can wrap around, you can basically create that half hitch corset. How you go about creating the structure can be done many different ways as well. So that was where I was able to end with just the 2 ropes. I can still do the thing up top that I wanted to do with the blue ropes, but the silver rope, or the platinum rope, is exhausted at this point in time. Let me show you what's going on in the back. Move that extra rope out of the way. So this is our original half hitch right here, and this is where I ended right here. I actually went both ways around and then had one that was a little bit shorter than the other one, so that just stayed down. It wrapped around and stayed down because I had done a little bit of a first part of a slip knot, and then I wrapped around it a few times, went through the spine and out that way. But basically you'll have what feels like the back of a corset for that. And I just smoosh those up together. The reason you don't go over the spine is because that will push the spine into you, and it would kind of create a very obviously uncool feeling. Marie, how does it feel on you right now? Awesome. And then at this point, you're basically done, other than using your homework dice to create something on the chest. Now, I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna add a second platinum rope. I'm gonna corset really far down, and then I'm gonna take my homework rope and do something with it. So I will show you the finished project of that. And this is what I have come up with. So obviously, utilizing the second platinum rope, you really get the that ribbed edge design of the Bahamut rig, or the half hitch corset right here. I didn't have a lot of rope up there, unsurprisingly, so I did create this alpine loop leash system, and I will show you that here in a little bit. So, casual alpine loop, there is no ventral pressure. It's actually, it'd be something that you pull down towards, so it'll cause a little bit of dorsal pressure, not even the back of the neck, because it's not even connected to the back of the neck. And as you can see, it does have some looseness that will not tighten. As I push it towards that way, we have some slack, and you can easily get a finger in there. But you can attach a leash to it and actually really do whatever you want from there on out. World's your oyster with that one. As we back out, you can see in a greater sense. Let's check out the back for that. So a lot happened back here, which only made it just that much more complex. So when I don't even know how to get to it. Just know that it happened, and unless I undo everything, including the alpine knot, I will be unable to show you. What would this world come to if I didn't? Me not educating. Ugh. Alright, so when you originally came up from behind and went around, because we had the girth hitch, which is right here, and we had made the Y, and then it came back up, and then it wrapped around, it went around, and then wrapped around again. Now what I did is, once I wrapped around again, I came down, went between the spine, and then came back up over the girth hitch between the two loops being wrapped around. If you go back to where it had originally started, you will see how I ended up getting that. Went around once here, created the alpine loop, did a bunch of finagling with it, went down beneath, and then just wrapped around a few times. Doing things simple is not how I roll. I was gonna add that fourth rope in there. I was thinking about it. It was calling to me. It was like, Rory, do it. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. That's what we look with it outwards. Hope you were able to follow along with that. Probably didn't. Dark rope, light background. But you know what? Backwards engineer, I believe in you. And if we look at it there, you can see that was the end of that first rope, and went on to do the second rope. Tied it around down here. One goes around, the other one goes the opposite way around. They wrap around once, square knot it off. I'm not saying you can solve all your problems with square knots, but they come in handy a lot. Aha! Wasn't that a fun tutorial? I hope you had as much fun learning as I did teaching it to you. Marie decided that since she was in the armor of Bahamut, that she was a holy paladin of that same deity. And she once again said something about a crusade, but I managed to grab one of her arms before she got out the house, so hopefully the damage is minimum this time. Anywho, I would be remiss if I did not bring up my other sponsors for today, the lovely people at Patreon. That's patreon.com/Rory's Brainworks, just like this YouTube channel. They are my rope vanguard, my colonizers of dreams, and without them, these rope endeavors would be way harder to create. Thank you for spending your time with me. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this madness, and comment down below what kind of rope bond things you would like me to teach you. As always, I'm Rory, this is my brain. I'm fairly certain it works. Be safe, and go create some art.